at that place near the British War Memorial.
Dan, the silence here is broken only by the sounds of people sobbing. It is very emotional here on the street as the princess's coffin came by. Also a very strong sense of community. The Queen in her speech last evening asked this country to unite in its grief, and we are very much feeling that as people here pay their last respects to the princess and give courage to her sons. Dan?
As the cortege nears Parliament Square, around the lawn on Parliament Square are statues of famous statesmen, including Winston Churchill and of Abraham Lincoln. Now in the distance, with Big Ben towering in the background over it, we can see a perch high above, directly across from Westminster Abbey, the first part of the procession. The cortege has arrived. The coffin just down there, passing from the sunlight into the shadow of that great leaning tree. Just to the left of the coffin, as it approaches just to my right, is a sea of flowers in front of Westminster Abbey. From William the Conqueror to the reigning monarch, Elizabeth II, all British monarchs have been crowned here at this abbey. It is also the burial place of most of them.
This is the moment of great solemnity as the prince's body and that huge, heavy, lead-lined coffin is about to be removed from the gun carriage. It will be carried by 8 of the Welsh guards. Their bearskins have been removed. The gun carriage has had blocks put under it so that it won't move. And it's now being slid slowly, ever so slowly. That very great weight, and a weight that's more than physical. With their white gloves, their hands are now holding it, and they will raise it. And walk slowly, so slowly, but in perfect time, into the abbey, where it will be placed on the great catafalque for the duration of the service.
Those are the muffled bells of Westminster itself. Service will be conducted by the Very Reverend Wesley Carr, who is the Dean of Westminster. He's been the Dean only since last February. It's the biggest thing, he says, I have ever done. But it is, he points out, a rare opportunity for the Abbey to bring together the pageantry, the royal history, and the common touch. In the ceremony, we will not see members of the royal family or members of the Spencer family at their request. Just to repeat that members of the royal family will not be seen during this ceremony, and nor, I suspect, will members of the Spencer family, other than the manner in which they may participate in the service, namely Her Majesty and the Duke of Edinburgh there placing a wreath. And now the boys and Prince Charles placing a wreath. It is intended to be a service which would have pleased Diana, much discussed by her brother, her two sisters, and the royal family, and the government. The Prime Minister will participate.
We are gathered here in Westminster Abbey.
The Dean of Westminster.
Thanks for the life of Diana, Princess of Wales, to commend her soul to Almighty God, and to seek his comfort for all who mourn. We particularly pray for God's restoring peace and loving presence with her children, the Princes William and Harry, and all her family. In her life, Diana profoundly influenced this nation and the world. Although a princess, she was someone for whom, from afar, we dared to feel affection, and by whom we were all intrigued. She kept company with kings and queens, with princes and presidents, but especially we remember her humane concerns and how she met individuals and made them feel significant. In her death, she commands the sympathy of millions. Whatever our beliefs and faith, let us with thanksgiving remember her life and enjoyment of it. Let us rededicate to God the work of those many charities that she supported. Let us commit ourselves anew to caring for others. And let us offer to him and for his service our own mortality and vulnerability.
Many of you may recognize this first hymn. It was sung at Diana's wedding to Prince Charles. I vow to thee, my country. Prince William had asked for that hymn because it was his mother's favorite. The first reading by Lady Sarah McCorkadale, Diana's eldest sister.
And leave you here a while. Be not like others, sore undone, who keep long vigils by the silent dust, and weep. For my sake, turn again to life and smile, nerving thy heart and trembling hand to do something to comfort other hearts than thine. Complete these dear unfinished tasks of mine, and I, perchance, may therein comfort you.
And now the BBC Singers by Lynn Dawson. Mama's favorite from Giuseppe Verdi. Reading by Lady Jane Fellows, Diana's older sister.
Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice. But for those who love, time is eternity.
the lesson will be read by the Right Honorable Tony Blair, the Prime Minister.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not love, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, and have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not love, it profiteth me nothing. Love suffereth long, and is kind. Love envieth not, love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Love never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Prime Minister Tony Blair. And now, Elton John. Candle in the Wind, written with words on this occasion for her.
Rose, may you ever grow in our hearts. You are the grace.